Yes, 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 yes. Some of you guys are coming in early before it actually gets started over on Instagram. So I'm about to push live over on IG as well. So let's see how that goes. There we go. And boom. Yeah, now we live. All right. And I'm going to keep it monitored over here, but I'm also going to come back over to YouTube, or better yet to Ecamm, where I can see everything. I'm hoping I can catch comments and everything like that as well. Listen, this is what I want to say right here at the beginning of Coaching Corner. This is a different day. We normally do these on Wednesdays, but I am traveling and just wanted to do this right here, right now, because I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do it again. It's 4:19 in the Central Time Zone. But I definitely am excited to be able to share some things. This is what I want to say. One of the things that we all can recognize is that if you want to go to another level, there's a phrase that has entered the vocabulary, the vernacular. There's a phrase that I've heard said multiple times myself, but I've also said it myself as well. And that phrase is that success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. And from those clues, you can pick up the fragments. You can find the strategies. You can, as they say, follow the breadcrumbs towards where the person you were following had success. And maybe you end up messing around and creating your own version of success as well. Why am I saying that success leaves clues? The reason why I'm saying that is one of the things I absolutely love to do. In fact, I feel like it is the calling of my life to be able to share with people, to be able to walk them through these processes as they look towards using content for their own purposes, whatever that might be. If you want to serve at scale, if you want to be able to oh man, open up steady streams of referral-based opportunities. If you want to grow and engage an audience, you want to become a household name, or establish yourself as a thought leader in a given space, content creation and live streaming is one of the ways that you can do that. And I absolutely love working with people to be able to help them realize some of those things. Success leaves clues. I see my guy Chris Stone is in the chat. I see Nikki Nicole is in the chat as well. Thank you so much for being here. Ravens, you talk with Yolanda is here with us as well. Super excited to have all of you guys here. Success leaves clues. Success, my friends, leaves clues. And one of the things I love about coaching is that we get to share with you, forget about the clues. We get to share with you in coaching the entire cheat code, the entire sandwich, the entire secret sauce, so that you can take it, alter it, put your own pixie dust on it, make it your own, so that you can come up with your own strategies towards success as well. I see some of your comments as well. Let me say this just as we get ready to get started. Nikki Nicole, I see your comments. I'm coming to them. I'm streaming live today, vertical, which is new for me. All right. Streaming today live vertical, which is new for me. And so I actually want to see what it looks like. So I'm going to go do that real quick. I hope that we have some people coming through. What's going on, Yolanda? I hope we have some people coming through on Instagram as well. Let me go over and make sure. I see Whole Tones Productions has come through. Pastor Lake is in there. Yep. Several others are joining us over on Instagram. Yes, let us know that you're watching on Instagram by chatting, because that way we can see your comments come up on screen. That's going to be helpful for us. Go to my channel. Let me go to this. That actually doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad. QR code is a little cut off. Might have to move that into somewhere else, but at least I have a better understanding of what it looks like. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to pull this up on the mobile. All right, so I see it there. I see what you guys are seeing. I know exactly what I need to tweak slightly. Let me see. Make that adjustment. It's got the QR code a little bit to the side, but anyway, The other thing that I want to do, of course, is make sure that my comments come up right. So here is a comment. Got it up on the screen right now. Okay. Well, we're going to have it come up right in the middle, right there, right above the purple. Okay. So breaking the silence podcast with Nikki Nicole says, how do you create overlays for reels? Do you use Canva? Here we go. And listen, we're right out the gate already with a question today. Excited for that. Now that I'm looking at the comment, I see it on YouTube. Doesn't quite look the way that I want it to. So I'm going to put it up a little bit higher. See, this is editing on the fly. All right. So overlays for reels. I hope that you're still here, Nikki Nicole. I had to get a couple things out of the way just to begin with. I always like to start with a small nugget of value so people can kind of settle in and know exactly what they're in for. This is the Coaching Corner with Kirk. Yes, it's at a different day, different time. Normally this is on Wednesdays at noon. Today is Tuesday and it is 4:30 in the Central Time Zone. So off of our time, off of our regularly scheduled program, but I hope that we can still provide some similar value. Now, with that said, what I see, you've asked the question, how do you create overlays for reels? And then you asked, do you use Canva? And the answer is absolutely. I do use Canva. The answer is absolutely. I'm constantly using Canva, but I've gotten into using some of the built-in tools with Ecamm as well. So if you are using Ecamm, you have the ability to use some of their tools to create some of the overlays. Now, when you say overlays for reels, reels are a very specific type of content that is the short form vertical video content that you would do on Instagram. Instagram has reels, YouTube has shorts. Instagram has reels, YouTube has shorts, and TikTok, I don't know what they call their videos. I think they just call it video, but it's all vertical. I think Instagram, you can do those up to 90 seconds, whereas YouTube, you probably want to stay around 58, 59 seconds. I wouldn't even do 60. I'll do 58, 59 seconds just to be safe. So that it can be classified as an actual short on YouTube. So when you say, how do you do overlays for reels? Reels are edited videos. These are produced videos. They're not live videos, right? So you can do your overlays in any way you want. I mean, it depends on what platform you're using. Are you using CapCut? How are you creating the reel and it may be, and for a lot of people, I mean, for Instagram, they've got a pretty dope built-in video editor. So maybe you just use that. Maybe you don't necessarily need to use anything external. And if so, you can bring in overlays. I don't think you bring in overlays into the Instagram editor. So that is something to be considered as well. Don't know if you can bring overlays into the Instagram video editor. I've used it multiple times, but I haven't used it in a long time. So I'm hoping that I'm answering your question, because you said, how do you do overlays for reels? Now, overlays is what, like an example of an overlay right now is, of course, the Coaching Corner logo that's in the screen right now, the QR code that you see on the screen right now, and then these lines that are on the screen, of course, with my name. All of those are overlays. I'm using Ecamm live right now. And so I don't think you're watching on Instagram though, Nikki Nicole. So yeah, she says branding purposes. Of course, you want to make sure that, like, these colors that are on screen right now, these are my How It All Works branding. And that's all done in Canva. I just bring them in as export them out of Canva as a transparent, a graphic. You want to make sure that the size is the right size for your reel. Then you can just drop it you can add it as a overlay in whatever editing platform you're using. If it's a Instagram video editor, or if you're using CapCut or whatever, and Filmora, I don't know. There's so many different mobile platforms that you can use. You can just pull from your photo library on your mobile device. Now, if you're editing in, let's say, like a Final Cut or Adobe Premiere, DaVinci Resolve, the sky's the limit. I mean, you can bring in whatever overlays you can possibly think of. You just make sure your canvas is set to 9 by 16, right? That's the tall one. And then you create your video or drop your video in there. You can even crop in your video because you have all that at your disposal. When you're editing, you could do all of that, as you please, because you're editing it, it's going to be produced. But when you're live streaming, like what I'm doing right now, I'm streaming to YouTube and I'm streaming to Instagram live. Right. So the way I'm doing that now is I'm using a program called Ecamm Live, and Ecamm Live allows me to stream to both destinations at the same time, but also it allows me to have the vertical format. Right. So this camera that I'm using, this is actually my iPhone 14, using continuity camera connected up to, let me make sure that this is, using continuity camera. There we go. So using continuity camera connected to my computer, my MacBook Pro, and the MacBook Pro sees that as a camera, and so it pulls it into Ecamm, and from there I'm able to utilize it whatever way I see fit. I hope that answers the question. I just wanted to make sure that I'm reading you properly. Okay, we got a couple other comments coming in here. AB Media 83 says, true. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us today. Appreciate you. Nikki Nicole says, I use Canva. My reels are created in StreamYard. Okay, perfect. So you're creating your reels in StreamYard. Okay, all right. But listen, then you can continue to create your overlays in StreamYard is very similar to Ecamm. I believe StreamYard has the ability for you to export your content directly to the platforms. So I totally forgot about that. So I'm glad that you gave me that added piece of context. So yes, you can create your overlays in Canva, bring them into StreamYard. Just make sure that they are the 9:16 format. And I've got a video on that. I've got a video where I kind of walk through some vertical overlays that I did in StreamYard. So maybe hopefully I can find that video and get that over to you. AB Media 83 says, I use Affinity Publisher /Designer to create my overlays /logos for YouTube, TikTok, etc. Yeah, there's a ton of ways to get it done. And I'm glad that we're able to kind of get Nikki Nicole over the line. I'm gonna have to check out your podcast. Breaking the Silence is so interesting to me. So now I'm like a little bit interested, right? I want to go down the rabbit hole a little bit here to see what you got going on. Yeah, that's true. 9:16, 1080 by 1920 for HD. Thank you. AB Media 83 is helping us teach this thing today. I appreciate you. Nikki Nicole says nice, and says yes, it does. Yes, StreamYard has the ability to export content directly to each of the platforms, so that's pretty dope. Yeah, so that answers that question. I don't know if there are any others. I see 9 of you guys hanging out with us on the live. Nikki Nicole, definitely going to check out your podcast, check out your channel. Anybody over on IG? Where my IG folk at? Where y'all at? I see a lot of y'all joining. Don't see a whole lot of y'all commenting. Where y'all at? All right, I just put a comment over on IG just to kind of prime the pump. Maybe they just wanted somebody to talk to them over there. And look, I'm gonna put the comment up on screen just so everybody knows, like, this works on Instagram as well as YouTube. So where y'all at? IG, where y'all at? All right. Nikki Nicole says, I watch all of your content, been following you for a minute. Nikki, listen, it's always a blast to be able to meet people that I have not. Maybe I have. I apologize if I have, but I generally keep in touch with some of the names that I see come on the live, and yours is one of those that I have not seen before. So hoping that this is the first time that we're able to kind of hang out together, and I'm excited that we're able to meet in this way. Excited that you've been following the content, and so I'm assuming, and I think it's super dope, that there's something that we've been sharing on our channel that has been able to be helpful for you in your content journey. This is, again, going back to what I said as we got started today. Success leaves clues. I once got a chance to interview Alvin Chia. Alvin Chia is the bass from Take 6. It's where most people know him from. But what people do not know about Alvin Chia, most of them don't know, is that he is a prolific voiceover artist. Definitely in the realm of James Earl Jones and Samuel L. Jackson, some of those guys. He does a lot of voice work. In fact, voice work has been his kind of primary breadwinner, even though everybody knows him as the bass from Take Six. And so one of the things he was sharing with me when I was interviewing him is that he got into the industry and he found some of these giants, and he selected them to mentor him, and he would, listen to what they had to say. He would follow their stuff. He would follow their trajectory, the things that they were doing when they were adding things to their portfolios. He was doing the same. And I was like, man, that's so awesome. In the interview, I said, man, that's so awesome. How did you get to meet these people? How did you meet these people that you wanted to follow, these giants in the industry that you wanted to be a giant in as well? How did you meet them and actually learn from them? And you know what he said to me? He said to me, I never met them. I followed them from afar. They coached me just by being who they are. They coached me just by continuing to be successful. And I was able to glean in the wake of their activity clues that led to my own success. I thought that was so dope. When we talk about this concept of success leaves clues, we talk about this idea that if you want to be in spaces and places, if you want to sit at tables where you've never sat before, it can be as far as following somebody who's doing it at the level that you want to do it. And now he's able to meet those people. And now he's able to collab on projects with those people. And now he's able to have them as first name basis. Literally, he showed me that he has some of these numbers in his phone. Why? Because success leaves clues. The truth of the matter is, unfortunately, not many of us will glean them. We'll do the work of harnessing them and of recognizing what they mean for you. What did that particular move or step that they did, how did it have impact on their trajectory, on their journey? And should that be something that I incorporate for myself? Is this just something for me to learn, or is this something that I can actually emulate? So when we talk about success leaves clues, we're not talking about just blindly copycatting the person who's successful. What we're talking about is taking a thoughtful look at their journey and trajectory and story and gleaning from it wisdom that you can take and apply to your own life. Because no two people are alike. So no two journeys will be the same. But success does leave clues. It leaves clues on terms of where you want to go, what moves should be made next, what energy and hunger and drive should I be putting into my work effort at this stage of the game. Those are some of the things I would love to be able to share. And here's the thing about coaching. You don't have to guess at it. You don't have to wonder and feel your way around in the dark. You have in coaching an immovable sounding board. Somebody who has a vested interest in you, but is not impressed by you. And so they're not afraid to share with you that that you need to make some changes in what you're doing in order to arrive at where you want to be. Those are some of the things I want to be able to share with you guys in coaching. Okay. That creative lady says, vertical looks great. Vertical looks great. Thank you so much. Vertical. So I'm glad to see that the Instagram fam has decided to come through and make a couple of comments. Nikki Nicole says, it's a pleasure. Never get to catch you, she says. And I'm glad. See, this is why you got to shake it up sometimes and go live at a time that you don't normally go live and get a chance to see some people that you don't normally get a chance to see. I think that's so dope. Demolition News is here. This is my guy. I had to reschedule with him. I had some travel. We're supposed to have him on the Coaching Corner last week, and I did not get a chance to have him on, but I'm hoping that I'm hoping that we can reschedule, because I'd love to have you on. I want to be able to share some of your story with the audience. And so definitely going to be looking forward to that. So now his question is, hey, Kirk, you mentioned your content planner in a previous show. It was actually a previous video. The YouTube video for this week, talking about 3 habits that I teach my coaching clients, helping them to avoid quitting content creation. Yeah, there's a whole phrase right around now that says something like, I quit YouTube. And I'm not 100% a fan of it. I don't think it's a real thing. I think it's clickbait, because most of the people that actually quit YouTube don't do so consciously. quitting YouTube, quitting content creation, to be more specific, because I know we're streaming to 2 platforms right now. Some of you are on Instagram, some of you are on YouTube, but quitting content creation is something that happens gradually, something that you don't necessarily see coming because you don't know what the red flags are. And so these are 3 habits. There are 3 habits that I shared in that video. And one of the habits, the second habit, not habit number 1, not habit number 3, but habit number 2 is what Demolition News is asking about. He's like, can you share more about the content planner? And yes, I absolutely can share more. I'm just making sure I don't miss anything I say. I see David is in the chat over on Instagram. I see Devon Lewis is on the chat on YouTube. Says, hey, Kirk, I finally caught you live. Your work is amazing. I finally took the plunge and became a content creator thanks to your previous videos. What? That's what I'm talking about. That gives me energy, Devon. That is so dope. Okay. Try my best to keep my excitement level down some. That is so dope. Devon, clapping it up for you. You took the plunge. You bet on yourself. You thought what you have to share with the world was worth enough, was good enough, that you decided you're going to actually share that in content form on your channel. You're going to serve at scale in content form on your channel. And I love that. I'm going to have to check it out. I'm bookmarking you, and I'm bookmarking Breaking the Silence podcast. I got to make sure I go and check out these after the show is done. Now, back to Demolition News. He's asking content planner, share a little more about the content planner. This is so dope. This is what the Coaching Corner is all about. 7 of you guys are on the live right now. We got 4 likes. You see what we got over on Instagram. I love it. I love it. Several people are joining. I see people are watching, and some of them are even commenting. Content planner is for my coaching clients, what I walk them through, and I can't, share everything because that's what coaching's all about, and it's just going to take too much time. But I'll say this in the most, brief and most explanatory way possible. I like to make sure my coaching clients have 52 video ideas, 52 show ideas, 52 content ideas, 52 because there are 52 weeks in a year. And what that does, you really never want to drop below 52 because you should always be adding. In fact, most of my clients hover around 60, 65, somewhere there, because you're creating content. And as you create content, you check those off of the list, but then you also are adding to the list. And as you create content, right, in that content planner, sometimes you will have different buckets, right? 1, 2, 3 buckets. First bucket is discoverability. This is content that's going to help you to ride the wave, right? Good friend of mine, Garrison Hayes, he's dope creator here on Instagram. He just dropped a video where he got a chance to interview somebody who was at that rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, where there was an assassination attempt made on Donald Trump. And while the video is informational, he's riding the wave because he's making it relevant to his audience. Are you seeing what I'm saying? This is discovery type content because you're catching on to a trend that everybody's searching right now. And then you're able to take that and help people to see it through the lens of what you do on your channel. Discovery content is content for people who don't know you, but they have needs. They want to be entertained, or they have questions they want answered. They want to figure out how to do something. Discoverability content is that first bucket. And it's where most content creators really should be focusing majority of their attention. Then there is the second bucket, and that is community-based content. All live streams fall into the community bucket of content. There are other types of content you can create, but live streams are meant to help build community, right? I got a chance to meet 2 people today, Nikki Nicole and Devon Lewis, both of whom never get to catch me live, but they did now, and they're able to share with me how my content has impacted them. I always like to say this about live streaming. Your live stream is the continuation of a conversation you started with your content. Your live stream is the continuation of a conversation you started with your content. And so as you plan out your content planner, there should be discovery content. There should be evergreen content, videos that you're putting out that they're going to be useful regardless if they're watching it during Christmas, if they're watching it during the Super Bowl. It doesn't matter. It's evergreen content. That content is how you get found. That content is how YouTube knows how to rank and suggest your videos in search. That's evergreen discovery content. But every now and again, your content not only answers a question, it solicits questions. It creates a follow-up. And so one of the ways that you create community is by responding to those questions in the chat. I respond to every single question that is put, every single comment, I should say, that is put on any YouTube video I've ever posted. I respond to them because that's how I build community. So that's community-based content. Live streaming is another way that you can respond. You see, Demolition News asked this question on that video that dropped on Sunday. He said, hey, I would love to hear more about this content planner concept. And I responded to him in a comment, but now I'm able to be live and he's catching me live and I'm able to respond to him live with content. And so that's your second bucket, your community-based bucket. and to be clear, community is still a great way of discovery. But a lot of the times somebody's just catching you live and they've never watched any of your videos. They're catching a portion of the conversation, but they don't know what the beginning is. So you want to make sure you follow that trajectory through to its natural conclusion. I'm seeing that my battery is screaming at me. So we gonna live sort that out. We're gonna sort that out right here, right now, live. Boom. Okay, battery. Now you're charging. So that's the second. First bucket of content. First type of content you want to have in your content planner is discovery content. Second type of content you want to have in your content planner is community content. Third type of content you want to have in your content planner is marketing, sales, funnel content. Content that is specifically designed to pad your mailing list. Content that is specifically designed to get people into your ecosystem, get people into your coaching, get people to book a call, get people to whatever that thing is. And to be clear, this is the monetization type content, marketing content that is getting people to do something. Also is gear reviews, right? Where I'm actually showcasing live solving, helping people to say, okay, I had a mic issue. This mic solved that issue. Get this mic. That's the marketing bucket. It's trading on the relationships that you've already built with your discovery and your community content. You want to have marketing content, sales type content, gear review content, because there are some people who they just want that kind of content just for the perspective of hearing what an expert is looking for in a particular product. So that has its own appeal, its own vertical, its own reach, its own success metrics, but those make up the 3 buckets of content that you want to have in your content planner. And you begin your journey of putting together what that list looks like. And sometimes you may be able to have a video like the one I gave an example of in the video on Sunday, which was best web-based streaming platform in 2024. And maybe that's a video that I do every year. And so now you see what I'm saying? I have a video that's not necessarily evergreen, but it's a video that I can do every year. I can prepare for. I can begin to put the pieces together because I know around, let's say June, every year, I'm going to do my best web-based streaming platform comparison video. And I'm going to look at all of the different options that are out there. I'm going to do that video, and everybody in my community knows that that video is coming, but people who are just getting into the streaming game discover me because they're looking to figure out which one of these platforms is best. Some of you that are watching right now came in because I did a StreamYard versus EVMux video. Came in because I compared EVMux and Ecamm and StreamYard and Restream to one another. I think I even did Cinemaker to one another. I did all of those as a comparison video, and that becomes your entry point into my ecosystem or into my community. But it's one of the ways you discovered me. Discovery content. You can have content that straddles the fence in all three of those buckets, but you have this planner. It can be electronic, it can be paper. I prefer paper, but there's no wrong way here. The point is that not only do you have a content planner that has some of these things outlined, but you also use the content planner. And one of the things I love about having a plan is that you can always adjust and tweak and be spontaneous. You can shift on a dime regardless of what's happening if you have a plan. The worst thing you can do is if you're just scrambling at the last minute. Oh, that's a dope idea for a video. Let me see if I can put it together because I don't have a video for this week. That's not how you want it to be. You always have a video for the week that you are preparing. You maybe did some batch recording to be able to get all of those videos done. But if something happens, case in point, just yesterday or day before, I can't remember exactly what day they did this, the new owners of StreamYard did a update video. They did a live stream where they talked about 3 new features that are going to be coming out. You best believe that me and my team looked at that video and said, all 3 of those features, 1, 2, 3, they're all videos that will be coming out on the channel as soon as those features drop. And we're already putting together the bones around what those videos are going to look like, what points I want to share. Is there any unique Kirk specific perspectives that I want to put into those videos? And as soon as those features release, I have access to some of them already as one of their beta testers, but as soon as they release fully to the public audience, then I'll release my video along with it. What does that do? I wedge it into the content planner. And so some will shift up and some will shift down, giving me even more content. And that's what I love about a content planner, because you shift the perspective of, oh my goodness, what am I going to create a video on, right? To the other side of saying, oh my word, which one of these videos am I going to create this week? All right, let's plan a content week so that I can start knocking out some of these video ideas, because we have so many of them, right? And then there's things happening in culture or in society or in trends that I want to be able to ride the wave of, and I want to bring those in to be able to talk about. It's Prime Day. Prime Day is here. Okay. Boom. That's content for days. So I hope Demolition News, some of what I've shared here gives you some context in terms of the overarching picture of what a content planner is and what it can do for you. I hope that that's clear. Michael Flemings is on the live. I love that. Dave, AB Media 83 says you have to bet on yourself, otherwise it won't work. I love it. Michael Flemings is here. Lena Mitis says, bless up. That's my cousin, y'all. What's going on, sir? Appreciate you. Hey, cuz I'm getting ready to head down to Jamaica here in a little bit. Lucius Lou says, question for Kirk. Now, I'm going to come back to this. I want to grab a couple of comments. I've been talking for a little bit. Living Water Quilter says, what up, Kirk? What up? What up, Geraldine? It's always good to have you on the live. I love it. I'm standing. Demolition News says, I'm standing by, my friend. Can't wait to meet you at last. I'm standing by as well. Kirk always has golden nuggets to share for content creation, for community building. Thank you. Thank you, Geraldine, for being here. And Enea, one of my moderators, is on the live today. You see that blue wrench. She's got my links. She's got all the things. I appreciate you for being with us today. Devon, I don't know if I'm saying that right, says Kirk has some great hidden gems in his videos to help so many people. Thank you, Devon. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let me go back to this question. So we got a question here from Lucius Lou. And I hope that you're still with us. This is a question from YouTube. All right. So Lucius says, hey, Kirk, can you talk about your process of leaving your full-time job to going full-time with content creation? Thank you again. Yeah, this is an interesting one. That's an interesting question. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to share. Yeah, let me back it up a little bit. One of the things that I always say to people is, when they talk about this, I started the live stream today by saying success leaves clues, right? Success leaves clues. And one of the things I want to make sure is clear is you have to get the full context of the clues that you're receiving, or else you may follow incorrectly. And so sometimes that takes time. And this is the reason why having a coach who can just directly share with you, this is the clue. That could be wildly beneficial. And if you're looking for a coach, there's a QR code on the screen right here. Go ahead and scan that. It's going to get you a free coaching session with me live on my Coaching Corner with Kirk show every other Wednesday, right on the channel, youtube.com/Kirk R. Nugent. So now, my journey to becoming a full-time content creator, what happened for me was I worked when my wife and I first had kids. We decided to start a business because we knew she wasn't going to be going back to full-time employment, but we wanted a professional outlet because she's just such a dope creator. She's a web designer, still a creator, right? Very talented, technology expert in her own right. Quite literally, she is more qualified than me. So we wanted to have that outlet for her, and we started this business called Composition. That's the business that I'm working in. It's a brand that I'm working in even to this day. Composition LLC. We started it right when our son was born, and so one of the things that we did, we left room in the business for me to come in. We didn't know when that was going to happen. We didn't know if that was going to happen, but we left room in our branding, in our product offering for some of the skills that I brought to the table related to video production, related to content creation. And so we left that room under the umbrella of our business brand. So what does that mean? That means that from the time we created the business, let's see, a full 10 years. Yes, a full 10 years. So the business was created, and a full 10 years after the business was created is when I actually entered the business full-time as a content creator, full-time as a video producer, full-time as a remote producer, right? Full-time doing what you see me doing now. And that's one of the reasons why I'm able to share ad nauseum about some of the things that I do, because I don't just do it for myself. I actually do this for my church. I do this for a media ministry that I'm a digital content specialist for. I'm a media pastor at my church. So I'm constantly doing this kind of work. And so I have a lot of, as they say, field hours, right? I put in my reps. But it also stems back to other work that I had done prior. So when people ask me, how did you make the transition? It was in a moment. We're talking about 10-year span, 10 years of preparation. Well, is it directed preparation? Some of it was, but we had laid the foundation and the groundwork. There was a business already in place. There was already P&L. There was already an accountant. There's already invoicing systems. There's already ways for me to allow people to gain access to my time for money. And so literally, as soon as I launched the channel in 2019, putting some of my shows out there, putting some of my content out there, there was already this infrastructure behind it that people could immediately patronize. One of the things I see from creators far too often is that they launch into content creation and they're almost surprised, like the success surprises them, like the emails surprise them. So people messaging them or DMing them on other platforms saying, hey, how do I get on your mailing list? And they're thinking to themselves, dang, I don't even have one. How do I book a content session with you? Because I'd love for you to be able to coach me through a particular issue. I want you to teach me how to do certain things. Oh, shoot. I don't have a way for somebody to actually pay for that and book my time. And it's not that they don't want that to happen. They just never build out the infrastructure for that to happen ahead of going into content creation. Listen, the truth of the matter is it shouldn't be content creators. It should be content entrepreneurs. Every creator you see is a business, a full functioning business. It's just that some of them have not taken the time, or better yet, some of them are under the delusion that they're not a business. The quicker they shed that delusion, quicker those scales drop from their eyes and they see clearly beyond the veil how it all works, which is that you are a business, the quicker they will not listen. And this is what shifted my metric for success. I just hit 9,000 subscribers on the channel last week. And some would say, yay. Some would say, dang, that took you 4 years. That's a long time. Others are just like, that's pretty dope. I can't serve 9,000 people even if I wanted to. All of those responses are correct for you guys. But the correct response for me is, from day one, the content has always achieved what I designed it to. It was designed to be a portfolio for people to see. If I was to allow Kirk to do my show or my content his way, what would it look like? I was so tired of working behind the scenes, doing things the client's way, suggesting things, and then having them with the veto power, because it is their product, it is their show, it is their content after all. I was so tired of them having that veto power and wielding it any way they choose. When I started creating content, when I started my own show, I had people knocking down my door saying, hey, season 2, episode 4, I want that designed for my show. How much? And you know what that does? That's why I tell people, if you want to set up steady streams of referral-based opportunities, you know what that does? It means that they're not looking for a remote producer. They're not looking for a podcast producer. They're looking for me, or they're looking for you. And that's a very different dynamic. Every marketer will tell you. If they're looking for somebody to do a particular job, now you have to try to big yourself up as the person who they should choose to do said job. But if they're just looking for you to do that job because they've seen you in your live stream digital storefront doing said job with excellence and joy, they no longer have any of you. Become the benchmark through which they're grading everyone else. And so when I made this shift to full-time content creation, to full-time content entrepreneur, these were some of the things that I already had in place that allowed me to launch in and never look back. So I hope that answers the question. I hope that answers the question. And I thank you for the question, because it's something that, you every now and again, you got to look back and see how that trajectory, how those experiences shape who you are. And I see your comment saying, thank you for answering my question. Absolutely. Absolutely. Devon says, it takes time and practice to be able to make that transition from traditional work to full-time content creator. Absolutely. But the other thing that I'm known for saying, if you never treat it like a job, you'll never get paid. And for many people, and to be clear, I think, for many people, the mental block is on what your definition of job is. Because for many of us, job is almost like a chore. It's like something that has to be done, but it's not something that I want to do. And I want to be clear with y'all. That's not the definition of a job. A job should be something that you want to do. Like, a job should be something that you would do even if nobody's paying you. Like, I did a review of EVMux one night on my own terms, on my own time, without anybody paying for it. Within a half hour, 45 minutes, EVMux was tagged, and we had 2 of their product managers and their CEO in the chat. In fact, before that live stream was done, I had the guy, the CMO of the company, come on the live stream with me. I was doing that live stream to pressure test EVMux all on my own. Nobody asked me to do that. I was doing that because I was going to do it anyway. But guess what? They paid me for that. Yeah, they paid me for it. They gave me a EVMux account for life. I began creating content for EVMux. When you do what you love, the old adage says you never work a day in your life. My thing is, if you never treat it like a job, you'll never get paid. And why I keep coming back to that is, if you never put the infrastructure underneath what you love, then you don't even give people the opportunity to say thank you for what you've done for them in a tangible way. That's a shame. and you shouldn't do that. And it's one of the things I'm constantly harping on in coaching. Living Water Quilter says, fabulous response. Thank you so much for being with us today. I always love when Geraldine is on the live. Dr. Oteng is with us, says, hey, Kirk. Well, hey, man, what's going on? Thank you so much for being with us today as well. We're vertical today. We are vertical today. I'm just looking at my comments over there. I'm making sure everything is good. I'm making sure everybody's right. I'm making sure Instagram is still with us. Instagram is still with us. Thank you so much, Instagram, for being with us today. Any other questions? We've been live for 44 minutes. And unlike other live streams where I usually have like a countdown and an intro, none of that has been involved today. We just literally hit the live button. We've been live for 44 minutes, and this is our Coaching Corner with Kirk session. This is our weekly. I like to come on live and just answer questions. I like to say that your questions are my agenda. Do I have something to share? Absolutely. I'm a talker. This is why I love live. So do I have something to share? Absolutely. I can share something, but I want to leave it open for those who want to engage and ask their questions, for you to be able to ask those and ask your questions, and we can respond to those. Okay, Panthers Prime Podcast, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. I love the alliteration, PPP. Panthers Prime Podcast says, is it possible to obtain sponsorships with only running the podcast on YouTube? Absolutely. If your value proposition and your target audience is right, you know exactly who you want to speak to. Listen, sponsorships and sponsorships is the natural outgrowth of you knowing your audience better than anyone else and speaking to their needs with your content. And if you speak to their needs with your content, invariably, you will have solutions for them. And solutions can sometimes be a PDF. Solutions can be a video. Solutions can be a microphone. Solutions can be a web platform. Solution can be a new AI, utility that you're using. Solutions that meet your particular audience at their deepest point of need. Yeah. So sponsorships, absolutely. YouTube only, absolutely. I would question why you're only putting your podcast on YouTube, but that's a question for coaching, right? But to answer your direct question, is it sponsorships possible with just doing a podcast on YouTube? Absolutely. Now, let's be clear. What type of content? Let's just see. I'm going to pose this to the chat. I'm going to give you time to see if you can answer it. What type of video? I almost said the answer. What type of podcast is YouTube going to prioritize? Is it an audio only podcast or is it video? You tell me. And with that said, Panthers Prime Podcast, you tell me also, what kind of podcast do you have? Is it video or is it audio? Of course, you know, I'm going to your YouTube channel right now. See, this is why I love this. Because it's all here. It's all here. You're doing good too, man. You've got 2.3 K subscribers. Panthers Prime Podcast. I hope that you are familiar with Ravens Talk with Yolanda, because you guys are very much in a very similar space. And I love that. Definitely. Let me see here. I want to go through. Let's see. Yeah, I'm seeing some of your stuff, Panthers Prime Podcast. And I think, one of the things that I would highly recommend. Okay. One of the things I would recommend is making sure that you prioritize video. I would make sure PPP is what I go by. I love it. I would make sure you're prioritizing video. And now that I have seen, look at that, Ravens Talk with Yolanda is back. I'm going to have to check out your channel, Panthers Prime Podcast. I love this. Y'all need to just know this is why I love this. I love being a connector. I love y'all not only need to know one another, you need to be interviewing one another. You need to create content together. That's just Kirk's personal opinion. Don't, this is not an assignment or anything like that. I'm just saying you're in a very similar space. She's a Ravens fan, you're a Panthers fan, but you're both NFL, and you're both putting out content related to what your individual teams are doing, but on a whole, what the NFL is doing. And this is what I want to say, Panthers PPP. What I want to say, PPP, is that you want to make sure you're prioritizing video. If you're going to do a podcast on YouTube, YouTube's primary focus is on video. So you want to make sure your video quality is great. You want to make sure video quality is great. Yeah, make sure your video quality is great. I just looked at it for like 2 seconds. I didn't take a whole lot of time. But I just looked at it for 2 seconds, and the immediate thing that came up for me was like, okay, video needs to be your next move. I want you to take a look at what I look like right now on camera. Okay. This is my cell phone. This is my cell phone. And so one of the things that I like to do is to make sure that people know it don't take all that. it don't take. I'm gonna switch so you can see what the wide view looks like, right? Even though it's cropped in. I'm gonna go back, right? So I'm back. This is the cropped view that keeps it vertical, but I wanted you to see what the wide view looks like, because this is my cell phone. So a lot of times I hear these things from people. Well, I don't have, money to do, high quality video. This is my cell phone. This is my cell phone with a LumaCube light above it. I got one light in the back right there, and those are track lights that my sister has in her basement. I'm not even at home. This is a mobile setup. I'm traveling light. MacBook Pro, iPhone 15, LumaCube light, MV7 Plus microphone. The MV7 Plus is a little much, but you are, if you're a podcaster, you start with audio, but then you quickly move to lighting and then video. That's the order of importance: audio, lighting, video. And when I say video, I'm talking about everything: the overlays, the screen shares, everything that's within your square, everything that's in your screen real estate, you own it. And so what I have up on top right here, the Coaching Corner with Kirk, the QR code right here, my name, the lines that are on the bottom, is all branding, because I'm owning the screen real estate that my viewers have given me. They've lent it to me for the time being, and I've been live for 51 minutes and 57 seconds. They've lent it to me. I want to be a good steward of every square inch of the screen real estate that they've given me. So you want to own it. You want to own it. So it's not just the quality of the camera. It's the overlays. It's the intentionality of what the experience you want to have your audience members experience when they come to your show. You get to be the captain of that ship. It is a significant responsibility. I'm not trying to, make it up to this really ridiculous thing. You start where you are and you grow. You allow people to grow with you. That's the journey of content creation. That's why people love it, because it's not Hollywood. It's not YouTube. I'm sorry, it's not Hulu or Netflix or NBC, ABC, Fox. It is social content. It's meant to be social. So there are things that I'm doing here now that there's going to be some mistakes, right? So there's a little bit of a glare in my glasses. That ain't quite perfect, but I'm getting the job done and I'm allowing people to see the journey. And that's what it's all about. So I'd love to chat with you more, but my point simply is to answer your direct question. Can you get sponsors? Yes. And here's a cheat code I want to share specifically with you, PPP. Have you sponsored your own show? Now, I know the answer is yes, but for many of my coaching clients, they're hard pressed to answer that question because they haven't formally said that they've sponsored it. Okay. For the first season of my show, every episode said sponsored by Composition. It's your boy Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher, host of the show How It All Works, sponsored by Composition. Composition is a web design and live video firm based out of Huntsville, Alabama, and we would love for you to be able to check them out. Now, back to the show. You see what I just did there? Now, I have said that Composition, which is my company, is sponsoring my show And what that signals in the mind of those who are watching is that this person is ready for sponsorships. Now, here's the critical point. If you're going to say that your show is sponsored, you need to be ready to have people contact you to be your next sponsor. Hey, I noticed that those shows or that season was sponsored by Composition. I wonder if I could sponsor your next set of shows. I had a guy in my what's the term? We did a live stream last week celebrating 9,000 subscribers, and the guy sent me a message saying, "Hey, I still want to sponsor all your shows. Send me the details. I want to be the sponsor. I want all of them, Kirk. I want to sponsor all of it." So is it possible? Absolutely. The answer is yes, but sometimes you got to lead people along the path. Sometimes you got to give them the breadcrumbs, because success leaves clues. You got to show them where they need to go. Sometimes somebody's watching, they're so enamored, they're so entertained, they're so enriched, that they're receiving the value that you have to offer. They don't recognize that there's a part for them to play. And how do you share that with them? You pause, station identification. Hey, we got to pay the bills here. I just want to give you a quick word from our sponsor for this particular episode, and that is from I don't know what your real name is, but let's say your name is Tom. That is from Tom Industries, and Tom Industries is a football enthusiast that sponsors this show, and want to make sure you guys know about them. Because see, what they want, what you're doing. You're giving your potential sponsors a window into what it looks like when they are your sponsor. Oh, okay, so there'll be a break in the show and they'll say my name right where they said that person's name. Oh, okay, there's a ticker across the bottom of the screen and my information will be in that ticker because I would be the sponsor for the show. Okay, this person is ready. Somebody just text me and say, "Okay, Kirk, shut up. You're giving away too much now. They've got to join coaching for the rest." I'm going to receive that. I'm going to leave it alone. Demetrius is his name, but you get the point, right? Demetrius, this is where, so Ravens Talk with Yolanda just says, "I just subbed Panthers Prime Podcast. We'll be in touch." I love that. I actually started out doing only vids until reached 1,000 subs. I love that. I love that. The super chats though, Kirk, but I got you. Listen, super chats is a great thing, but super chats goes through the YouTube ecosystem and it comes out the other side woefully. They've helped themselves to some of it. And so sponsorships are direct. They pay directly to you. So yeah. Hey, PPP, I'd love to work with you. I don't know, what that looks like. Scan the QR code on the screen right here. Go ahead and drop an email. My VA will get right back to you and let you know. Yes. Geraldine says coaching in the coaching corner, but my VA will get right back to you and let you know exactly what you need to do in terms of next steps, so we can get you on the docket, so we can get you into the programs. But this is what it's all about. Oh, my cousin is on the live. What's going on, Roberta? Thank you so much for being with us today. Always appreciate having fam come through. Hey, Roberta, I'm on my way down to Jamaica. I'm heading down to Jamaica. She knows why. I'm just going to leave it out there. Okay. All right, fam, listen. We've been live for 57 minutes and 55 seconds. I don't think anybody else is going to be able to get any more in. Here we go. I'm all ears, bro. Absolutely. Yolanda, I'm going to sub. Okay. Whoa. Oh, here we go. Geraldine says, "What is the balance between lead, core, premium, and customer retention offers sprinkled in live video creation?" Ooh, what is that balance? I'm gonna be honest with you, Geraldine. I didn't see your question. I'm glad I saw it now that I was scrolling back, but I didn't see your question earlier. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I would look at that question through the lens of value to your audience. I try my best not to overdo the marketing, overdo plugging the leads and those types of things, above and beyond the value that I know I've provided. Now, if I know I'm sharing with you rock solid gold, I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna have the QR code on the screen. I'm gonna say, go ahead and scan that joint to get the free coaching call, so that we can chat. So that we can chat. So that we can chat. So those are some of the. So I hope that answers the question, Geraldine. I don't know if you're still here. I know you've been chatting with us on YouTube, but I would look at it through the lens of value. There's a seesaw there. Want to make sure that you're stacking the deck on direct value. A lot of people try to, bait and switch. It's like, oh, the value's over here. Hey, if you want to, no, I like to give them the value. I give them the value, and then if they want more context around the value that has been shared, come on in. Come on into the system. See, what YouTube is about helping people help themselves. That's why I call it the workers' warehouse, because these are people who have DIY projects that they want to get off the ground, and they're walking around the warehouse trying to find resources that they've got their instruction list. And now they have the instruction list. Now they're looking for the ingredients. They're looking for the things, the components, the parts that they need to be able to make this thing happen. I want to give them the value. You want the instructions, here are the instructions. But if you want somebody to walk with you through the process, come on over to the workers' warehouse. Come on over to my coaching program. Come on over. Let me walk you through this thing together. And for some people, they need to figure it out on their own. I'm serious on that. There are a lot of people who coaching is not for them. They are the type of people who they want the instructions. They want to bang their head against the wall until they figure it out. And that's okay. But that's not the person I'm targeting. I'm targeting the person who says, I couldn't care less. Give me the cheat code. I don't want to bump into nothing that you could help me avoid. So I'm willing to pay for your time. Get into your ecosystem. Get into your coaching sessions. Get into the workers' warehouse so I can have the resources, so I can avoid the potholes, so I can avoid the pitfalls, so I can avoid all the nonsense and get right to where the value is, right to what I want to achieve with content. And then you can change out content to whatever it is that you're doing. Where, I got a finance guy that I'm working with. For them, it's like, I want to work with the person who doesn't want to do all the nonsense. They want to get right to where they want to be with their finances. You put at the end of that sentence whatever your thing is, but the idea and the concept is, I look at it through the lens of value. Give them the value that they need, because it demonstrates to them that you're an expert in the space, that you have more. Anything that I could share with you for free on YouTube, you best believe there is a ton more I could share, but I can't because the videos are too short. And with that said, look at that, right at 1 hour and 1 minute, and I'm already over my time. There's 6 of you guys on the live today. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us today. I hope this is meaningful to you. I hope that you catch it on replay over here on YouTube. You know that there's no replay on Instagram, right? So my Instagram fam, I hope that you got a chance. I hope that you hung out. Hope that you got a chance to get your questions answered as well. Coaching Corner with Kirk is designed. It's specifically designed with you in mind. Your questions are our agenda. Now, if you never heard me say this, I want to say this before we go. Your live stream, your content is your digital storefront. There's no greater way to go from busy and broke to peaceful and paid than for your ideal customer to see you do your thing while live, while in video, while on the replay. Because when they see you do that, they don't need the taste test. They don't need the ad campaign. They saw you do it. And when they saw you do it, that's all they needed for them to book the business, for them to book the coaching call, for them to bring you in as a facilitator or a consultant, for them to want to learn more about what it is you have to offer. And that's what I want to help people to do. It's your boy, Kirk Nugent, the Geek Speaker Preacher. Thankful for your time and attention. We will see you around these internet streets or in the next video. Grace and peace, fam.